going to make you feel more comfortable out on the racetrack and be able to be more aggressive.
There you see the 30-second board is up. When that goes sideways, they have from 5 to 10 seconds before the gate will drop. Jeff Emig, along with Kevin Windham, Jimmy Button, Larry Ward, Ryan Hughes, Greg Albertine, Michael Brown, Steve Lamson, John Dowd. Oh, we've got a pressure-packed first heat here, David.
Well, it doesn't have McGrath in it, but it definitely has the most depth. The first 9 guys here on my list, just amazing. A lot of guys are going to have to go to the semi.
Waiting for that board to go sideways. It is now sideways. We're ready to go. The action in Atlanta is underway. Emig having a little difficulty there, but the start is Michael Brown, number 100, gets the whole shot. A Honda Troy rider, Michael Brown, improving each week, David.
Now as he gets up there and gets those starts, he gets to run up front, gets more confidence.
And here comes Ryan Hughes, number 10, moving into second place. Jimmy Button in third, battling it out. Number 9 is John Dowd. Dowd, a 125 rider from the West Coast Division, is riding 250s here in the East. He's now in third.
Beautiful shot of these guys. That's actually what can be a quadruple jump. The triple, the landing, that jump has been extended. So if these guys get a great run at it, they can turn that into a quad. They're jumping about 75 feet through there.
Remember, only the top 4 get to go directly to the main event. Michael Brown in first. Jimmy Button starting to challenge Ryan Hughes for second place.
Whoa, Button coming up short right there. Gamble and taking that inside line. That rut's gotten so deep, it's actually gotten down to the cement. You see the back end get away from him there a little bit.
Ryan Hughes moving into second place. Marty Reed.
Remember last week at Indianapolis, Ryan Hughes ran every single race. He had to go all the way to the last chance, and he even finished second there before getting into the main event. This is his best start in the last 4 rounds of racing. He'd love to have to just make it through the heat.
Mike Brown still in first place. Hughes in second with Button in third, and it's Kevin Windham, number 8, on the Team Yamaha in fourth. And on the bubble right now is Larry Ward, number 4, trying to catch up to the lead 4. Dowd has dropped back behind Ward, and Emig is giving him pressure now. So we might have the defending champion and last year's winner. I should say Damon Huffman is last year's winner, but Emig placed second in this race last year. Emig is just trying to qualify right now. Brown holding his own in first place.
Starting to get a lot of pressure now from second, third, and fourth.
Here's our Suzuki leaderboard. Brown, Hughes, Button, Windham, and Larry Ward. Only the top 4 will make it. Ward, though, picking up some time now as Brown, and going down. Going down is Jimmy Button, number 11.
Trying to get in there and get aggressive, make a pass. He had just made a pass approaching the triple. Got a little bit too aggressive. He did that last week in Indianapolis. Got real aggressive in a little bit of a personal battle with Jeff Emig. Had to go to the semi.
So Michael Brown, who's had a 13th, a 20th, a 12th, an 8th, and 2 10th place finishes. He has not had great results as far as the checkered flag is concerned, but he is improving after coming back from Europe.
He has been riding good. I talked to him before the San Diego round. He said if I could just get a start. Then he got a great one last week in Indy, and he was challenging Doug Henry for second. It just made the pass, lost the front end and went down. That kind of ruined the race for him. Otherwise, he'd have had a podium.
There comes Windham moving into second place, David. Just got in front of Hughes. And so it's Brown. Windham would like to make a move on Mike Brown.
Now Larry Ward, just behind these guys, has actually caught him. Riding a little bit faster pace, and that corner is slick. If you're not in that inside berm or all the way out wide in the bank, that dirt's loose. That's where Button went down.
Okay, we'll see the checkers fly when we return to the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta.
Listen up. Honda dealers are offering 5% financing and no down payment on all new Valkyries.
Check, please.
He got into leather for $8.
I tried on some Revlon for 12 bucks. What?
At Ameritrade, we never forget it's your money, so your trades are fast and accurate. By internet for $8, touch-tone phone for $12, or with a broker for $18.
I got out of Toys R Us for $18.
Check out Ameritrade.com or call 1-888-818-5300. Open any account by April 15th and get a free IRA for life. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
1997, what a year for the sport of Supercross.
The 97 Supercross Series, bar to bar.
And the season is underway.
From LA to Vegas.
McGrath is down, and he's under the bike.
All on one video.
Doug Henry wins his second Supercross.
In the best year in history.
You can expect a lot of fire.
Go behind the scenes and on the track.
Albertine through the timing section.
The most wicked crashes.
We both up Miami.
Bone-crushing excitement.
You want to know who got the whole shot? You call 1-900 Pro Race.
The best riders in the world.
Get bar to bar today. Call for your copy at 1-888-659-RACE or send a check or money order for $14.95 plus $3.95 shipping and handling to Bar, care of Pace Motorsports, 477 East Butterfield, Suite 400, Lombard, Illinois, 60148.
AMA Supercross is being brought to you by Honda Motorcycles, celebrating 50 years with great deals during Honda's Dream Days. And by Suzuki Motorcycles and ATVs. Now during Suzuki Fest 98, get $500 worth of accessories for free and choose from great deals like zero down or low APR financing on selected models. We're back in the Georgia Dome in our opening qualifying heat. Mike Brown, Kevin Windham, Ryan Hughes, Larry Ward. Those four could go to the main event, qualify for the main event if they hold their current positions. Ward, though, is now starting to pressure Ryan Hughes. There you see Windham, Hughes, number 10, Team Kawasaki. Larry Ward, Team Suzuki, puts the foot out, takes the short way around before the long straightaway.
Boy, this Georgia clay really works up nice. It almost kind of appears like an outdoor race where the track has more time on it. It starts to groove up, get bigger berms. The soil's so soft here, it works in very quick.
Less than 4 laps to go for Mike Brown. Can he hold on to this lead and win his first heat of the year? And Windham in second place. Hughes now starting to rev it up in third with Larry Ward in fourth. And Jimmy Button has gained some ground on the bubble. Jimmy Button, can he reach Larry Ward with only 4 laps to go?
Mike Brown turning just under a minute, 59.4 that last lap. And through here, he's jumping all the way off into the corner. And out of the corner, he jumps all the way up over this little rise right here that Hughes and Windham have to negotiate. So a much better line through there. And that's a good spot because he makes all his time right before the checkered flag.
Button now is only a second and a half behind Larry Ward. Emig is running 7th. Looks like he might have to go to the semifinal round again. Mike Brown, Kevin Windham, Ryan Hughes, Larry Ward, and now Jimmy Button moving into the scene. Oh, we might have a great finish again here in our qualifying round.
It's setting up for it. Button is aggressive. He'll get in there and do what it takes. He and Ward got together in Seattle. Ward won that battle.
Be aggressive.
2 laps to go. Be aggressive. You got to get out there and make something happen. I think what he's trying to tell Kevin is if he just sits back there and rides and waits for a mistake, Brown may not make it.
Ali Seymour, the mechanic of Kevin Windham, a good rider in his own right. And look at Windham. They bang bikes. He's trying to test Michael Brown. Ward taking advantage of it, tries to cut inside, moves into third. Now he's in a good battle with Ryan Hughes. Ward casing it a little bit. Moves back to third with Ryan right on his back tire.
There's just the musical bikes out there. Unbelievable, the position swapping. Button still has an opportunity right there behind Hughes.
Here's Jimmy Button making a move now, trying to close in on Ryan Hughes and Larry Ward. Oh, what a freight train we've got. Kevin Windham now. Kevin Windham in first place as they hit those hippity-hop whoops with Michael Brown moving back to second, Larry Ward in third. Anything can happen now. They're too close. 2 laps to go.
Beautiful shot. These guys are jumping a lot further off that triple than normal. To see that from underneath, you get a really good shot of how high and how far these guys are flying here. And that's going to get tougher to do through the night with the ruts.
The battle for the last qualifying position. Jimmy Button, he moves into 4th. White flag lap. 1 lap to go. Can Ryan Hughes get it back from the number 11 Chaparral Yamaha?
Well, Hughes is aggressive enough to do it.
Here he goes. Oh, what a nice move inside.
Now he's got to protect. Button made a mistake, left the door open. This is where Button's been making time. He goes wide, doubles this, actually triples it before the big triple. He's been making time there.
Wyndham still only 2 bike lengths ahead of Mike Brown. Leading this first qualifying heat. Brown tries to make a move to the left of Wyndham, but the number 8 Team Yamaha holds on. I think maybe he's trying to come back from a rather embarrassing moment earlier during introductions.
Unbelievable. Well, Kevin's been really perfecting the front wheel wheelie. He grabs the front brake and stands it up on the front wheel and rides it pretty far, and he went over the handlebars during the opening ceremonies. The bike just landed right on him.
And then beautifully played to the crowd. He didn't play to the crowd this time. He just stuck his mind on business. He takes the checkered flag with Mike Brown in second place, Larry Ward in third, Hughes qualifying in fourth in front of Button and John Dowd. So we will be right back as Marty Reed will be talking with Kevin Wyndham about both occasions, I assume, when we return to the Dome.
Come on back to the nifty 50s where classic American favorites like rock and roll oldies, hot apple pie, and fresh brewed coffee were king.
America's best diner is an authentic 50s diner where you'll be wowed by a famous Hubble burger. Fries with gravy and thick hand-dipped shakes and malts. Where everybody knows your name and breakfast is served all day. Step back in time for hearty portions of homemade food like Mom's meatloaf and real mashed potatoes. A great family value. Come on, Daddy-O, and cruise to America's best diner where the past comes alive.
What time is it?
I'd say it's time for some bristles and shears.
I'm not cutting my own hair.
No, silly. You need to go to Bristles and Shears Hair Design. That's where I go.
You know I need to look professional.
Relax. Their experienced staff is trained to listen first, then cut. You get your hair styled the way you want it, all done in a modern, comfortable atmosphere. They even have an esthetician.
A what?
A facial and skincare professional.
Oh, I knew that. Well, where is Bristles and Shears?
Next to Belfort Furniture and World Gym in Sterling.
Honey, where are my car keys?
What you wear. Yeah, you know, that's your style. The way you look is unique. The way you want to look, it's all in the gear.
It's comfortable. Look at this. This is street gear right here. This is how we play on my block. Represent the ladies.
As you all know that ladies also play basketball.
You got the dribble. You got the crossovers, the shot, the rebound, even the dunk. You got to use ability. You got to use your skills. You got to fly, man.
NBA authentic gear redesigned by Nike, Starter, and Champion.
The dream, man. You got to follow the dream.
In our opening qualifying round from the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta, Georgia, Kevin Wyndham showing that he would like to slow down the McGrath Express. Jeremy and the group, and you see here Wyndham, Brown, Ward, Hughes going right to the main event. But what a semifinal that leaves, not qualifying yet for the main. Emig, Button, Lamson, Dowd, and Albee. Marty.
Yeah, we're down here with very happy Kevin Wyndham. First off, a great battle. That's the closest heat race for the top 5 we've seen. What was it like from your seat?
It was tough. I was trying to get good lines to pass Brown, and he was riding a great race. And every time I tried something different, there was always someone on me. So that was a great race. And everybody was going fast. It should be a good night for the main.
I've got to bring up pre-race introductions. You went up on a front wheelie, went right over. Is that an omen now? You're going to have to do this all the time?
Well, I've been doing the nose wheelie quite a bit, and tonight it just got away from me. And it's one of those things. We all make mistakes, and the crowd loves it. I just kind of got up, brushed off my shoulders. I'm not hurt or anything. Didn't bend up the bike, so that's good. And crowd seemed to love it. And we're here to put on a show, and having the fans behind you is great. I'm gonna just go back, try to work on it a little better to where I don't crash, and I'll keep doing it for sure.
Guys, he forgot one point. At the end, he also took a bow.
Yeah, it was great the way he played to the crowd. Ezra Lusk is the local favorite from Bainbridge, Georgia. After 2 wins and a second place bad luck hit Ezra in a big way. He's hoping his native Georgia fans are going to help him get back on track here tonight.
I'm just really happy to be back in Georgia and definitely racing in Georgia. And it's been a year now, and we drove up Thursday. Me and Doug Henry came down this weekend, rode with me for a little bit, and cruised up in his motorhome Thursday and did press day and just hung out. Weather's been great, so it's not the usual 20 below weather here in Atlanta.
As we get set for our second qualifying heat, and Ezra gets ready, here's Mike Larocco. No Georgian has ever won the Atlanta Supercross, incidentally. Ezra would like to be the only exception. Damon Huffman, last year's winner, number 15, getting his goggles ready. Next to Ezra Lusk, number 3. LaRocco is number 5. The 32nd board is up. So beside McGrath, Lusk, and LaRocco and Huffman, we've got Mikel Pachon, Doug Henry, Sebastian Tortelli, who won the first round in Los Angeles, Jean-Sebastien Waugh from Canada, Heath Voss, Tom Welch, Terlecki, Thomas Stone, Karsten trying to qualify not only in the 125s but also in the 250s tonight. He does that a lot in the Eastern Division. Graves, Strunk, Burnett, Tilden, Binkley, and we're off. Who's going to get that hole shot? Ezra Lusk, number 3, puts on the brakes. Tortelli gets right in front of him. So it's Tortelli 103 taking the lead with Doug Henry on the 4-stroke Yamaha in second place. Pachon, number 16, battling Ezra Lusk, number 3.
McGrath in 8th right now. He's going to have to work his way up. And Lusk came out of the gate, just shot out of a cannon. A perfect jump out of there, but just couldn't control the first corner. That's what happened to him in Indianapolis. He got in there good and got bounced around. First corner is going to be really important in the main event.
Jeremy's already moved into 5th place, so it's Tortelli along with Henry, Pachon, Lusk. And we anticipate a great battle between Jeremy McGrath and Ezra Lusk.
I think we're going to see it too. They're right together. McGrath is just behind Lusk. There you see him. They're both going for the inside there. They got to work their way through traffic.
Tortelli looking strong after coming off that ankle injury. Marty Reed?
Guys, one of the things about Tortelli, remember, this is his last race. He's been the high point for Team Kawasaki. He was 4th last week, but as we said, after this one, he heads back to Europe. They're going to miss him. Yes,
he goes back to fulfill his contractual agreements with the GP, the World Motocross Series. And it was once thought that Indianapolis would be his final race of the year, but he decided to stay on for one more. Team Kawasaki liked that idea, of course. Here comes Doug Henry. Henry in the whoop section. One of the most popular riders on the tour. Side by side, and Henry bursts out in front before the triple.
Look how close these guys all are. McGrath at the tail end of that.
Here comes Lusk. Lusk to the inside on Tortelli. Ezra Lusk moving into second place, pleasing the Georgia fans. So it's now Henry. And it looks like this track is pretty good for Henry's 4-stroke.
Real good. He didn't look so good in the first practice, but in the second one, he may have either got his head screwed on right, went out there with a better attitude, more relaxed, or he made some changes to the bike, or both. But he looked fantastic the second practice, pulling away right now.
Henry the big lead. Mikel Pachon getting by his countryman Tortelli. Let's see if they hold at 3 and 4 with Jeremy McGrath on the bubble. McGrath out jumps Tortelli doing the triple. Tortelli only the double. And so it's now Henry, Lusk, Pachon, and McGrath in a qualifying spot.
McGrath tucking it around the inside right there. May feel like he's riding the Paris Supercross. He's got French riders all around him, trying to stay with Lusk. He can't let Lusk get away.
Doug Henry and Lusk solidly in number 1 and number 2 right now with 6 laps to go, but speedsters behind him. Here comes Jeremy to the inside. He takes the number 3 position now and has the bullseye on the back of Ezra Lusk.
Pachon didn't put up much of a fight there. He just was out wide. McGrath ran right through the inside, took that pass, no problem. Now he's going to try to stay glued to Lusk, learn as much as he can before the main, figure out where the passing is going to take place. He may not pass Lusk. Sometimes the guys will hold something like that up their sleeve until the main event.
So the red Georgia clay seeing Jeremy McGrath trying to move up the ranks from 3rd with Ezra Lusk in 2nd.
Great technique right there by Jeremy. That berm, that left-hand corner back there is so close to the hay bales. He's got to use his body, stay leaned in, keep his line up straight. Keep his leg tucked in tight just to stay in that berm.
Last year's winner is in 7th. It's Doug Henry, and Lusk and Jeremy McGrath are pulling up a little bit on Henry.
And that's where Doug is making up his time. Before that left, he quadruples all those jumps. Everyone else is using it as 2 doubles. Doug was the only one I saw do that in practice, and he's still able to do it here in the race with the ruts.
5 laps remaining. And right now the top 4 are fairly well defined with Tortelli in 5th and LaRocco in 6th. We'll see if those positions hold when we get back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.
A fuel-injected 90-degree V-twin, an exotic all-aluminum truss frame, and a rear suspension so advanced it's patented. The 1997 Suzuki TL1000S A sport bike with such forward thinking, the rest of the world seems backwards. Buy one now and get a $400 gift certificate to spend on anything at your Suzuki dealership.
For over 30 years, Cycle News has been the weekly newspaper for motorcycle race fans. Results are official, point standings are current, and race coverage is timely and complete.
Oh, it was a great race, you know. I mean, it was an interesting race. And to win the last race and say, it's something I dreamed of when I was a little kid, is to be a Supercross star. And
Riding impressions, new products, events calendar, classified ads, and more. Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call 1-800-325-2925 or visit cyclenews.com on the World Wide Web.
Hi, my name is Rick, but everybody calls me The Rick. These are my sports figurines. Now, you know something? A lot of people call these dolls. They're not dolls. They're sports figurines. And I just want to get that straight. Okay, they're not toys, and they're not dolls. They're figurines. Hey, Curtis. That's Curtis Martin. Patriots.
Here's our Suzuki Field summary as we return to our action of the second qualifying round. Top 4 riders in line to move on to the main event. Lusk testing Henry now, showing him a tire.
After this triple, watch Henry on the inside. Well, now Lusk does it.
Ezra Lusk made the exact same move you said earlier Doug Henry was making. Henry tries to come back. They bang bikes a little bit. Ezra Lusk out in front here in the qualifying heat with McGrath in third.
Beautiful move. Lusk learned that from Doug. Doug that time apparently wasn't lined up in the right rut, didn't feel comfortable. Lusk went for it, and that was the difference. A lot faster if he can quadruple those jumps into the corner.
Well, the dark cloud has certainly been over Ezra Lusk's head in the last 2 rounds. There's no question about it. When he runs into a bale cover and it wraps around his front tire and he can't move in 2 races ago. And then last race he is banged into, goes down in the first turn, injured his hand. So Ezra now trying to fight back. Here's Henry in second with McGrath in third.
McGrath had a couple of laps right there where he wasn't able to stay with the group. But he is learning everything. You can see all those guys jumping what they're jumping, and he'll take notes on that for the main.
Number 3, Ezra Lusk. His mechanic is Mike Gosler.
Yeah, Mike, we were worried about his injury on his hand. Obviously, the answer is he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling pretty good. He's pulling out some pretty good laps, trying some things I haven't seen him do in practice, so he must be feeling pretty good.
We'll let you get back to it. He's running at about a 57-second clip, guys. In fact, he's showing him a 56 next time by.
And we've got less than 2 laps remaining.
It's unbelievable that Lusk has just pulled away from these guys, and he is jumping some more stuff. If we can get a look at it before the finish, if he chooses to do it again, he may not want to show these guys, but he is jumping some stuff that I haven't seen yet either, and he's making up an amazing amount of time. 59-second lap times in that first heat race, and Doug was turning 59.5, but obviously not fast enough. Now he's getting challenged by Jeremy.
Here comes Jeremy McGrath, just barely getting around a flagger. McGrath takes the lead, still having trouble getting in front of Doug Henry as they approach the white flag lap. Ezra Lusk coming over the finish line, takes the white flag as we watch the battle for second place. McGrath to the inside. The power of the 4-stroke, though.
Well, the energy that takes. Jeremy just one little mistake by Doug.
Doug doesn't have the acceleration coming from that mistake to retake second place. So Jeremy McGrath now a long way to go on the last lap. He'll probably settle for the second place.
I think he will. That section approaching the finish line jump, Jeremy jumped all the way up to the top and then just hitting the tops of all those. There's like 5 more whoop-de-doos that are huge going into the corner and just slamming the tops of all of them, but it set him up perfect for a pass.
Great shot of Doug Henry coming right at us, number 19 on the Yamaha. On the final lap of this second qualifying heat, LaRocco has moved into 5th.
This is the section. Well, Lusk didn't do it that time. He's been jumping from that approach all the way over everything into the corner. One jump farther than anyone tonight. That's where he's making up so much time.
Saving it until he needs it. So Ezra Lusk takes the checkered flag. This is the 4th heat win for Ezra on the year. Ezra Ezra Lusk in front of his native Georgia fans. We'll be right back. Marty will be talking to Ezra, and we'll get the semifinal round started when we return.
Now is the time to train for the career you've always wanted. Just ask Motorcycle Mechanics Institute graduate Al Luddington, now lead mechanic for Honda's championship-winning Smokin' Joe's Superbike team.
MMI gave me the knowledge and training to take me to the top of my profession. It's a great place to start, and I recommend it to anybody looking to kick off a career in motorcycle mechanics or the personal watercraft industry.
Change your life with one phone call, 1-800-994-3664. That's 1-800-994-3664. Call today.
Ezra Lusk, as we rejoin the fans here at Georgia's Dome. Ezra Lusk leaping by Doug Henry, taking the lead and patiently going on to victory here in our second qualifying heat. As we take a look at the 4 qualifiers now that go to directly the main event, Ezra Lusk, Jeremy McGrath holding on to second, Doug Henry third, Mikel Pichon doing a good job in fourth. Let's go down to Marty.
Well, we talked to Goose about your hand and arm and everything else, and obviously it hurts, but it doesn't hurt enough to put you out.
Well, it's going to have to be broken to really put me out, you know, and those guys said it wasn't broken. That's what the x-rays told us, but, you know, that doesn't mean that it's not hurting. But Advil and a couple other pain medicine really makes it feel great, and I'm having a lot of fun.
You know, the last 2 races, you've really been snake bit. The guys talked about it during the race, the fact that, you know, you got the front brake locked up with a hay bale cover, then you end up last week getting taken out. Do you feel like you're about due for a break to come your way?
You know, it's just, those things happen, you know, it happened to me. What are you going to say? You know, I train hard, I ride hard, I do everything I need to do. I'm prepared, you know, and it's going to happen sooner or later. All I can do is prepare myself, be 100% every time I step on this Honda, and I'm going to win. It's going to come, you know, it's not going to keep happening.
Guys, get ready for the main. Remember, he was 3 seconds a lap quicker than the first heat race winner.
A terrific performance by Ezra Lusk, and he was hoping, of course, that this crowd would spur him on. As Supercross, you know, is great on television, but to be a part of these record crowds, seeing it in person, this action will really pump you up, believe me. We head to Florida next with Tampa and Daytona before visiting New Orleans. Then it's up north to Minnesota, St. Louis, and Pontiac. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Texas Stadium, and Las Vegas round out the season, of course. In the finale there in Las Vegas, we have the East-West 125 shootout where the best riders from the East and the West get together, and it's a tremendous affair. Art Ekman and David Bailey, after seeing a couple of the finest heats we've seen all year. In fact, the first qualifying heat, David, probably was the best as far as competition is concerned. I mean, they were banging away.
It was very exciting. They were all so close, and anybody could make one mistake and lose 2 or 3 positions. And Brown, though, getting out to the hole shot, I thought he rode really good. I mean, he rode good last week until he went down. So his confidence is coming back, and Jimmy Button looked very aggressive, but just like last week, going down, having to go to the semi. That's going to be a packed semi, and Wyndham was just the most patient there. That's what got him the win.
In the second qualifying heat, we had Tortelli getting the whole shot, but he didn't even qualify because everybody else came storming up. Ezra Lusk showing that Advil works.
Well, obviously a very tender hand from last week's crash, and I think he erased any doubts. I've had certainly my doubts. I know how that feels. Just the vibration of the handlebar. It's tough to compete, but he was awesome.
You think McGrath's going to have to step it up to win the main event?
Definitely. He was back there. He lost a little bit of time, but I think he learned a little bit. He'll go back and look at videos, and McGrath can definitely, he's one of the guys that can go into the pits, come back out for the main event, and step it up.
Let's go down to the red Georgia clay where Marty Reed is.
Every track has its own unique characteristics. Remember last week at Indianapolis, it was wet, it was clumping. I mean, you could actually just pick it up in these big wads. Here, the Georgia red clay, besides making your clothes a real mess, is very loose. Notice we've got some running going on, but the track's holding up real well. What's the difficult part for the riders is Look how loose it is. I mean, it's really easy to get into this, and if you're not in this rut right here, you're out here. You can see Jimmy Button, some of the other guys, they've been sort of pushing out, sliding, losing that rear wheel, and it's given them a handful.
It's a unique surface, David Bailey.
That's very difficult to ride in because you want to stay in the rut, but then when those start to get too deep, some places going down to the cement, and especially on the face of the takeoffs, that gets a little dangerous. But it's kind of like in car racing. You get out of the groove, get up in that gray. It's very slippery. A couple guys already having problems with it.
Last year's winner, Damon Huffman, has to go to the semis. Jeff Emig, last year's champion of the series, has to go to the semis. That's coming up next.
The Honda 4Trax 300 4x4, the Foreman 400, and the Honda Recon, a 250 that's all new from the ground, mud, and slime up. You could go to the ends of the earth and never find better ATVs. We know. We've been there.
Hi, Bob Vila here with an exciting new hand tool from Sears. The Craftsman Pocket Socket Adjustable Box End Wrench. With a one-hand adjustment, you can lock onto nuts and bolts of almost any size, from 5/16 to 3/4 of an inch, or 8 to 18 millimeters. The closed box end clamps tight. Heat-treated steel construction makes it durable. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool, made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
To order your Craftsman Pocket Socket, call 1-800-762-9999 now.
Phone Patrol from 1-800-COLLECT.
Attention citizens, I've got big news. 1-800-COLLECT is now 10 cents a minute every evening.
Whoa, 10 cents a minute, that's cheap.
Yep, 1-800-COLLECT, you'll save so much you can buy a new hairstyle, Sonny.
I never thought collect calling could be so inexpensive.
Isn't saving money fun?
1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening, all week long.
They're revving up. Late start by Larocco. Good start, though, by Albertine and Huffman. 17, Damon Huffman, $1,000 richer. Out in front, it's Damon Huffman and his teammate Jeff Emig with Jeremy McGrath. 5 bike links back in third. Here he comes with the big race on, trying to get around Jeff Emig. Seals him off. Jeff Emig, a good bang-bang performance. The checkers flag for Damon Huffman. His first Supercross win ever. Huffman, after winning his first Supercross, then got injured in practice the next week, and it took him out for the rest of the Supercross season. He's back here tonight in the semifinal rounds as we head to the first semifinal. There's John Dowd just going by Greg Albertine, and of course Damon Huffman's teammate Jeff Emig, number 1. As we take a look now at the Suzuki track map, David.
Well, it's a long start. Interesting first corner, a lot of obstacles in it. Right into a triple, and the triple's a little farther than what we've seen so far this year. Rhythm section, a long whoop section. The whoop section's broken up. They're bigger and further apart in the beginning with a jump in the middle and smaller towards the end. Then across the starting line, and at the bottom of the screen, a triple that can be a quadruple as well, and then another quadruple right after it, as we've seen Doug Henry and Lusk do. And a lot of rhythm, interesting, great places to pass before the finish line jump.
Okay, it's sideways now. The 32nd board, and we're off for the semifinal number 1. You see Emig with a good start. 17 is right there, and that's Steve Lamson of Team Yamaha, or I should say Team Honda. And Lamson now gets tied up in the corner. Lamson along with Albertine. Albertine number 7.
Well, for Albertine, it's just been a horrible night. He already went down in the heat race. That's what caused him to go here into the semi. Lamson, it looked like to me he had a good line through there. The hay bale just got spit out in front of him, I think, kind of like what happened to Lusk in San Diego.
In the whoops, Jimmy Button trying to take over second place from number 411, Marco Dubé from Canada. Out in front, It is Jeff Emig, now Jimmy Button, Dubé, John Dowd, and number 63, Kevin Krein, as the top 5 will advance out of our semifinal rounds to go to the main event.
Now this is probably a little more like Emig is used to. Get the whole shot, have a clear track, and just go out and win. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. There you see number 11, Button. He's going to get up there and challenge.
Emig with a good lead now. Button looks back to see how far back Mark Dubé is in 3rd place, and he's getting a big challenge right now. As you see, a 3-rider group for 3rd.
And Button just tried a line in the first corner. He jumped everything. If he's close enough to Emig the next lap, that could get interesting.
Dubé on the Suzuki, battling it out with Kevin Krein, number 63. Krein, Dubé, back and forth, and that gives Dowdy a chance. John Dowd, the 125 Western rider, doing the 250s in his 2nd race on the East scene.
Well, if you put loops all the way around the entire track, that'd be pretty good for Dowd. He makes a lot of time through there. Button all over Emig now, and so Emig's just trying to get out there and get in the flow of things, and you can't relax. He's got Button all over him as they approach. Well,
5 laps to go. Jimmy Button goes in front of Emig. Oh, they're going to be scratching some plastic here pretty soon. Emig does not like that. Jimmy Button to the inside. Emig retakes the lead. Oh, wonderful semifinal action right now with 4 laps to go.
Art, I can't recall the last time I saw Emig pass. He didn't make the pass right back, and Lamson out.
Uh-oh. I hope he's not hurt. Dan Medley, the mechanic, trying to start the machine, is Steve Lamson. Well, we'll try to check out and see what that injury might be. We'll be right back in a moment.
Are you ready? Why go to Dulles Shell when there are so many gas stations to choose from? Simple. Their frequent fueler program. You see, each time you fill up at Dulles Shell, they'll punch your frequent fueler card. On your 15th fill up, you can choose one of the automotive service squares, including a free oil change and lube with the purchase of a filter, or 10% off your choice of any service work. And you'll love the quality of their work and how quickly they get you back on the road. The frequent fueler program. Who else does that for you? Dulles Shell on Route 28 by the Holiday Inn.
Looking for appliances or home electronics? Nichols has it. Nichols Appliance carries the complete line of Amana products, from gas and electric cooktops and ranges to refrigerators, washers, and dryers. How about home electronics? You bet. Nichols has TVs and stereos. Need service? Nichols does it. Who needs superstore headaches and hassles? Nichols got it all. Check out our newly expanded Percival store. Nichols Appliance, your source for savings for over 70 years. Check out the full line of Amana products at Nichols.
Throw line, the finals of the women's NCAA tournament. I dribble once, I dribble twice. I say to myself, this is for all the supermodels. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm at the free throw line. They taught me how to stare blankly into space. Into space. Stop, I've got to concentrate here. I'm at the free throw line. And this is the finals of the NCAA tournament.
Here comes Jimmy Button once again, retaking the lead in that famous corner, David Bailey.
Well, and he got all out of shape, but he got all out of shape right in the way of Emig, so Emig couldn't capitalize on it.
So it's Jimmy Button leading our first semifinal round with Jeff Emig in 2nd place.
Hey, you know, Jeremy Button's teammates watching this right now going, all right, Jimmy, that's over the triple. Emig went for the quadruple, but then he couldn't get set up for the next quadruple. Button over it perfect. Watch this. Got hung up in that rut. Great save. He went right over in front of Emig, took the line away.
Let's go to Marty to check out Lamson.
Well, guys, a quick update. He's already headed back towards the transporter. It's that same shoulder that he hurt at the beginning of the season. I said, is it serious? He says, I don't think so. It's just very sore.
Another tough break for Lamson, who's, oh gosh, he never got the season underway because of an incident earlier.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Broken collarbone, and it was a bad break for a collarbone as well. Jimmy Button is our leader here in the first semifinal round, and Jimmy Button making a habit of going to the semifinal round, doing very well, if not winning. He's won the last 2 semis he's been in, and then coming back and doing well in the main event.
Now watch this line right here. He's going to take, goes wide in the first corner, jumps everything, complete triple, makes a line that hasn't been done, another triple because he goes wide again. Now, if you're open track, you don't have somebody on your tail that can go wide like that. It's a lot faster elapsed time in terms of a lap time.
John Dowd in third place. A good ride for Dowdy.
Tucking it around the inside after the triple.
Here's Button, Emig, Dowd, Krein, and Dubé, our Suzuki leaderboard, as we check out Team Yamaha's John Dowd. Dowd, 15th in his first 250 race of the year last week. Started in 7th. It was not a fun day at Indy for Dowd. Of course, he is much more concerned with his 125 Western points battle, as he holds a 1-point lead as the white flag is out here in the semifinal number 1 for Jimmy Button. But back to Dowd, he holds that 1-point advantage over David Villeman with only 2 more races on that for the championship chase.
58.2 lap time for Button that last lap. Not quite as fast as Lusk, but definitely in the hunt.
Albertine, you see him there, number 7 on Team Suzuki, cutting to the inside of Kevin Krein, number 63 from Mechanicsville, Maryland.
That should secure him a spot in the main. Not going to get a very good gate pick, but you know, as if I can recall, Damon Huffman, who won last year's event, started on the far outside, got the whole shot, and led it all the way.
So it's Emig, Dowd, and then Albertine and Krein, and then we go to Marco Dubé. And it looks pretty well defined from there, as Anthony Amaratio is quite a ways away in 6th. The checkers for Jimmy Button. So his is now his 3rd consecutive semifinal win. He might not see the checkers in the main event. He's been racing well in the mains lately, but he's certainly seeing the checkered flag here in the semis, David.
As long as he sees the podium in the main event, I think he'll be happy.
And so will Chaparral Yamahas. We'll be right back. Words from Jimmy Button as Marty Reed makes his way over to the victory podium in a moment.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
It's that time of year again, tax season. Are you prepared? Will you file your return with confidence or with crossed fingers? The Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Your Taxes can give you more confidence, and it's yours free with 10 weeks of the journal for just $3.90 a week. The Guide and the Journal. Necessary items during a stormy season. Call now for the Wall Street Journal, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300.
Milestones are how you measure greatness in sports and sportscasting.
For Kenny Mayne, I'm Dan Patrick. Good night.
All right, folks, it's official. Dan's 2,000th shot.
It was a big night. Everybody wanted a piece of history. I'll remember where I was when Dan hit 2,000. Everybody will.
We're back at the Georgia Dome. Here's Emig. Watch number 17, the Honda, right and back. Clip the tough box, David Bailey. And Steve Lapson goes down. Albertine goes down. Button just squeezes by on the inside.
Bad luck for Team Honda in those tough boxes. I know they're already arguing about there's not enough weight in those, and they keep moving out in the track, and they've certainly caused their team some trouble.
But qualifying now for the main event, Button, Emig, Dowd, Albertine, and Kevin Krein with an excellent ride to make the main event. Let's go down to Marty.
Yeah, and a very happy Jimmy Button. 3 times in a row we're talking in this semi business. I mean, this is becoming a habit.
Yeah, I wish it was a habit in a heat race, but I seem to always have a little bit of problems, you know, getting settled into the night a little bit in a heat race, but had a little problem out there, hit Rhino, went down, came back, and, you know, ended up getting 5th. So I was happy I got a good start. Had a little run-in with Jeff, grabbed my clutch, and I kind of bounced off him a little bit, but everything went really well, got around him, and just pulled out to a nice lead. Feel great, bike's working perfect. My Bridgestone tires are working awesome. You know, everybody, Chaparral, my mechanic, Brian, everyone's doing a great job. I couldn't be happier. Hopefully we can go into the main event and have another one.
Well, last week you thought your way into a second straight podium. Are you going to be thinking your way through this final again?
Yeah, I think so. I'm riding really good right now, and I think I'm riding a little bit smarter every weekend. So hopefully we can go out and do it again. I feel pretty good right now, so should be all right.
We'll see him in the main, guys.
Last year's winner, Damon Huffman. It's been kind of a weird season for Damon. He's been riding well, but not showing on the end result page.
Well, my season so far has been somewhat, I don't know, a little weird. I've been feeling really good, and everything's been going good. My results haven't been that great. Last week was pretty much an off weekend for me. But coming back here to Atlanta kind of gave me a boost, and I'm really hoping to work off of that, and I think it's about time I get up on the podium and definitely win again.
32nd board is now up. We're set now for the second semifinal round. Mike LaRocco in this one, along with Sebastian Tortelli, who won at L.A. Damon Huffman, Heath Voss, Jean-Sebastian Watt. As the board turns sideways, and they're off. Number 15 is Damon Huffman. It's got the edge. On the outside, though, is number 43, and he's picking up some power right now. That's Barry Karsten. And number 5, LaRocco, moving into second place. So it is Huffman and LaRocco, the two you would expect to be out in front at this point in time.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily expect LaRocco to be out front, but his starts have been improving, and he got a good one that time. Protected to the inside right through there. Came out safe. In good position here.
Tortelli has now moved into third, and Sebastian Watt is in fourth. Number 80.
LaRocco's had some good rides here in this soil.
LaRocco's had some very good rides here in Atlanta. There's no question about that. As Mike LaRocco certainly would like to take the checkered flag, I think, in this semifinal round. I think you'll see him try to test Damon Huffman right now.
And what these guys will do is they won't take big chances here and have to go to the last chance qualifier and cut it that close, but they will get out and test themselves a little bit. I'm sure he'd like to pick up a win as Huffman's mechanic.
LaRocco won here in '95, and he had two third place finishes and a fourth last year. So number 5 on his own factory connection Honda, that independent team. Mike LaRocco looking for another good finish in Atlanta, Georgia.
And not only is this an opportunity to make the main event, but it's another opportunity to dial in the suspension a little bit better, see how the track's starting to wear down, and get a better idea of how it's going to be in the main event. Try to get your lines together, and the more time you can spend out there. Arm pump usually happens in practice. It's a little bit better in the heat race, a little bit better as the night goes on. So anybody that has trouble with that, the more laps on the racetrack, the better they start to feel.
Damon Huffman is simply pulling away from Mike LaRocco, and Tortelli is starting to give a little challenge to number 5 in second place. But Damon Huffman, as we see him there, well, now we're on LaRocco, number 5, as he cuts the corner. Tortelli's right behind him with Waugh behind Tortelli.
Tortelli went down in the second practice session hard enough. It broke his rear fender, and his visor came off, so he obviously did a face plant. Went and parked by the starting line for a little while and just kind of regrouped himself. He didn't get much practice, so this is probably good for him.
Right. His win in Los Angeles, his very first on the Supercross scene. And this is his last race, of course, before hitting the GPs. We've already mentioned that. He took an 8th place in Houston and then got injured at the Kawasaki practice track and was out 2 races. Came back with an 18th, but looked like he recovered in Indianapolis with a strong 4th place finish.
Right, and he earned that, too. He just didn't get a great start and stay there. He had to pass some guys and ride smart. Heath Voss having some trouble.
Voss is down, and we'll be back with the run to the checkers here in our second semifinal round in a moment.
Discover the amazing hitting secrets of America's finest baseball school in Teaching the Mechanics of the Major League Swing 2. Tommy Maskey's powerful teaching video that features the same revolutionary techniques that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Parents, players, and coaches have been simply amazed at their students' rapid week-by-week improvement. These award-winning techniques benefit players of all ages and ability levels and make a valuable addition to any coach's library and a great gift. At just $29.95, call now.
Of all the roads you can travel in America, there's one that we at Honda are kind of partial to. State Route 4. It takes you to Marysville, Ohio, the place where we build the Honda Goldwing, the finest touring motorcycle in the world.
During Honda's 50th anniversary celebration, we're offering 5% financing and no down payment on all new Goldwings.
Sunday, women's college hoops hits the home stretch as the SEC's elite battle for conference bragging rights. The SEC Championship Game, Sunday at 5 on ESPN2.
Welcome back as Damon Huffman, Team Kawasaki number 15. Last year's winner here in Atlanta leads our second semifinal round. Behind Huffman is Larocco, Tortelli, and Waugh.
Through the whoops, Huffman. It's a strength for him, hopping through with nice timing. Says he feels better on the bike today, felt good in practice. He's done a lot like what you talked about Emick doing, going back to a setup. He says it's very similar to what he had here last year.
Marty, your observations?
Well, the good news for Damon Huffman and Team Kawasaki is he's out front. The bad news is he's running consistent 1-minute laps. That's the slowest of the 4 heat races that we've been involved with so far, guys. It's not going to be enough to win the main.
Could be that he's holding back a little bit, but it would be nice to go back in from this semi and see yourself turning a couple of laps capable of running with the leaders instead of just consistent minute laps. He will definitely have to pick it up. The question is he just holding back a little bit right here?
Action underway. Damon Huffman looking very smooth, and this is the kind of style that won him the race last year. Good timing.
Yeah, he got a great start. And having his teammate back there behind him probably didn't threaten him too much. He knows he's not going to get center punched, so he's able to ride a little bit more relaxed. And I think Emick at that point may have been a little bit content to stay there because he was already in good position in the series.
Number 61 and 43 is Barry Karsten. And so 4th and 5th, this should be 5th and 6th. And that's the bubble. White flag is out for Damon Huffman. Huffman and Larocco. Larocco within striking distance, but only 1 lap to go. Tortelli in 3rd. Number 61 and Karsten trying to hold on to the final transfer spot as Waugh is trying to get back in the action. Waugh was in 4th and 5th for so long and then was overtaken. So a great 3-bike battle. Here's our leader, Damon Huffman. You see him firing over the triple, the backside.
Coming up just a little bit short, actually electing to just go for the triple. And at this stage in the night, because of the amount of heat races and the time, they haven't had much time to work the track. So what Damon's facing right here, which could tell the story of those minute lap times, is that the track has deteriorated as far as it's going to be. Before the main, this will be much fresher for him.
The checkers for Huffman as he sails across the finish line. A pretty easy ride for Damon, and I'm sure he's very happy with the setup of the bike right now, David. All kinds of action coming up on Supercross. Is headed toward his finest finish of the year.
Got enough vice in your life? Well, maybe it's time to put some back.
Everybody free!
Now you can feel the heat again with Miami Vice on home video. Call this toll-free number now for Miami Vice, the collector's edition, and recapture all the pulse-pounding action and music you remember. Step back into life in the fast lane with 2 hip undercover Miami cops. Sonny Crockett.
No guts, no glory.
Ricardo Tubb.
Get out of my face!
Use your credit card and call this toll-free number now and get the premiere movie, 2 uncut hours for just $4.95 with subscription. And in case we haven't shown you enough, Miami Vice Get it now on home video and put some vice back in your life.
To get your first 2-hour video of Miami Vice, the collector's edition, for only $4.95 plus $3.79 shipping, call toll-free 1-800-411-9952.
ReTV, America's keeper of classic TV.
Take everything you ever knew about cruiser motorcycles, everything you ever learned from your older brother, your friends, biker movies, and throw it out. Because the Marauder is a cruiser like no other, one only a high-performance company could have built. The Suzuki Marauder. It's time to move on.
5 more riders qualifying for the main event in our second semifinal round. Damon Huffman leading the way with Mike LaRocco, Sebastian Tortelli, and a very fine ride by Ryan Terlecki. Let's get on to Marty.
Well, he won his first 250cc Supercross here last year, wins the semi. Let's talk about course conditions. They made the observation up top that this was the worst that it would be all night. What was your opinion of it?
Actually, I didn't think it was real bad. Of course, I was out front. But with the ruts, it makes it a little bit difficult. And I think that breaks everyone up a little bit. But for the main, I'm sure they'll groom it, prep it up. It's going to be good all night.
Were you able to pace yourself in that race? Because we were watching lap times, and it wasn't as quick as some of the heat races.
Yeah, well, you know, the main thing, I'm in the main event. One time I got stuck in neutral, but my Kawasaki's working good, and there shouldn't be no problems for the main.
You feel confident enough? You like this track here. You feel confident enough to say, hey, I got a shot again tonight?
Yeah, I feel really good. You know, the first race I rode a little bit tight. I didn't move up like I wanted to, but I used my semi to get loose and more used to the track, and I'm just looking for a good start and run up front, no problem.
Guys, we'll see him in the main event.
Well, if Damon does win the main event, he would become the first consecutive winner here in Atlanta in its long tradition. Join us for our next television presentation, round number 8 from Tampa, Florida. That'll be on March 9th, 11 p.m. on the East Coast and 8 o'clock out in the Pacific time zone. We'll be right back as 18 riders have qualified. We'll have the last chance qualifiers for you in a moment.
Gorgeous kitchen. You have great taste.
Thanks. Let me get dinner started and I'll give you a tour.
Oh, strong frame.
Thanks for noticing.
Well built.
I try.
What a wonderful, rich style.
I think so.
Perfect. Just perfect.
Thank you. Ready for that tour?
Craft-made cabinetry. I'm already impressed.
For kitchens, doors, and windows, visit Tart Specialty Products.
These days, friendly service is the name of the game, and at Nichols Appliance, that's exactly what you'll get. Meet Ted and Richard. They're the Nichols management team. Bob trusts them to make sure his customers get exactly what they want. They'll help you get the best price on the best appliances, like Maytag, the best built product you can buy. Nichols has a full line of Maytag and Jenn-Air appliances, including refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and washers and dryers. So stop by Nichols Appliance to find the best appliances at the best prices with friendly service. Ted and Richard will give you service with a smile.
You can't afford to miss NHL Center Ice. Up to 30 games per week. More hockey, more teams, more hard-hitting NHL action. Order NHL Center Ice pay-per-view package. Now a half-season offer at a reduced price. After Nagano, there's only one goal, the Stanley Cup. Center Ice, brought to you from your friends at the NHL and ESPN. To order, call DirecTV at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or Prime Star at 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Marty Reed bringing you the action while we were away. That short LCQ race, the last chance qualifier, very important for these two, as Steve Lampson got off the dirt after going down hard to win the LCQ. He's now in the main event along with Anthony Amaradio. The 125s, the future superstars of this sport, gaining rapidly, that's for sure. They're on the track taking a look at the track right now. Ricky Carmichael, number 6, leading the points after the opening round of the 125 Eastern round in Indianapolis. He, of course, has the 3-point lead on Robbie Raynard. Lytle in third. Danny Smith finished 5th in that race, but does not get points because he is a Western 125 rider. Give that credit to Ryan Clark in 5th position here in the 125 Eastern standings. You know, Carmichael, even though he scored 3 wins last year, RC has never won 2 Supercross races in a row, and he showed us his cool winning that opener last week.
I was a little bit nervous going into the race, but I guess after my heat race, you know, winning my heat race kind of lit my fire up a little bit, and I was ready for the main. And Robbie rode a really good race last weekend, and I wasn't surprised a bit. I knew he was going to be fast, and I tell you what, it's going to be a long season, but I'm glad to be back on the, you know, on the race scene. I'm a lot more comfortable this weekend, you know, I think just because I got my first race out of the way, but I'm ready to go this weekend.
Last week in Indianapolis was a big confidence boost for Raynard. Not just his second-place finish, but also dicing with and passing Carmichael during the race.
Yeah, I feel like I had the speed. Like today, I feel really good. Yesterday, I didn't feel quite as good. I have had a head cold. And like today, I felt really good out there. So I think I can do it even, you know, like the way I feel right now. I feel strong. I rode a lot this week, so I think I'm ready to go.
Taking a look at the starting grid, Suzuki starting grid, Robbie Raynard, Robbie Skaggs. Skaggs doing a fine job in his qualifying heat after failing to qualify in the first round this year. Barry Karsten looks like he's qualified maybe for both the 125 and 250s. We'll have to check that out. David Bailey, strong field for 125 riders, but can they beat RC?
I don't think so. Not from what I've seen, and I don't want to make it sound like it's going to be a runaway, but Carmichael is just unbelievable. I mean, it seems like he's even stronger here in the East against his division than Villeman was in the West, the way he just destroyed those guys out there.
Down to Marty.
Well, just to add, I had a chance to talk with him right before he went on his reconnaissance lap here. I said, hey, are you going to make this as interesting as the heat race when you fell back to 12th after going down? He says, no, I'm going to try and make this real boring for you.
Well, it'll be, I think it'll be boring, Art, but the way this kid jumps the triple and just about throws the bike upside down, he's very conscious of the crowd, and if it is a runaway, he's going to do something to get this crowd fired up.
David, last year he proved that he really could learn to relax and read the situation last week after his situation last year. He had 3 wins, but he had some crashes.
It was very evident to me that in the beginning of the main, when Raynard got around him and it looked as though he was beginning to pull away, he had Mitch Payton in his helmet saying, hey, just take it easy, go out there. Anything would be better than the way he started off last year, and if it looks good, go ahead and go for it. But definitely be smart. You need to win this championship, not the most races.
30-second board is up. You see the 125 riders getting ready. The 125's going 15 laps. The second round of the Eastern region. Who's going to get that whole shot? Will it be Ricky Carmichael, number 6? The Pro Circuit Kawasaki Ricky is definitely the favorite. Can Robbie Raynard do a little bit better than he did last week in second place? Raynard, not that good a start, but he's on the inside. Carmichael in good position for the whole shot. It's LaRusso, number 31, with the official whole shot.
A whole bunch of riders going down in the first corner. Brock Sellers involved in that crash. He'll be the last to get going.
Brock Sellers last week getting a 14th place start, came all the way back to 4th place.
Sure, he doesn't want to make that a habit. And Carmichael already attacking.
Ricky Carmichael, incredible. It's Ricky Carmichael out in front.
Reaching for a tearaway off that triple. He'll have clear sailing here unless he makes a major mistake.
Paul Curry, number 50. But Ricky Carmichael is right where he wants to be and already lengthening his lead. There's Curry, number 50, and he's getting a challenge right now. There's no question about that from Jimmy Neese. Neese won the last chance qualifier for the right to get into the main event, and here he is on a KTM battling for second place.
This is going to be a great battle, but they're going to just have, as the flashes go off, they're just going to have a view of Carmichael's tail, and that's going to get, they're going to need binoculars here pretty soon. This is going to be a battle for second. I don't see anybody in this group battling right now that's of the caliber of Carmichael to challenge.
Well, one thing for sure, we're not going to see a Robbie Raynard, Ricky Carmichael battle. Raynard is last. He's just now on the straightaway. As Robbie Raynard goes into the triples, and here, a big battle, they rub the plastic. And it's Jimmy Neese. He's just up the road a piece from the Carolinas. Jimmy Neese moving into second place, David.
He will be comfortable in this kind of soil. They don't ship this in from anywhere. It comes from right here. And guys like Larry Ward coming up next in the 250s will be comfortable in it as well.
Number 45, Robbie Skaggs, is behind and just in front of Neese. Well, Skaggs in second place, Neese in third. Back and forth we go.
This has started off much better for Skaggs. Started with a hole shot in his heat race to get him into the main. Rode pretty sharp up there, learned a little bit from Robbie Raynard. Couldn't challenge him, but definitely into the main, and a much better beginning for him here in Atlanta.
45, Jimmy Neese. As we've almost said goodbye to Ricky Carmichael.
Now he's already out past the mechanics area. Really in a league of his own. This is a great battle. If Carmichael weren't in this race, this would be such a close, tightly knit crowd for this championship in the East.
Robbie Skaggs, number 45, number 42 right behind him is Jimmy Neese. My correction on that. It's Jimmy Neese right behind Robbie Skaggs and trying to show him a wheel or two with Barry Karsten not that far back of these two.
As they go over the finish line jump right here, if they look to their right, they'll see Carmichael already approaching the first corner.
A 9-second lead already, and we've got 12 laps to go. Ricky Carmichael, Skaggs, Neese, Karsten, and Curry are top 5 on the leaderboard. We'll be right back in a moment.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow?
Yeah. So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
Hi, Chuck. How's business?
Okay.
Hey, what's on your screen?
QuickBooks accounting software from the makers of Quicken.
Yeah, I really don't have time to learn new software.
If you can write a check, you can use QuickBooks. Answer a few questions and it tailors itself to your business. Create invoices like these. It has accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and inventory, and over 60 customizable reports that put you in control.
I'm going to try it.
Nothing to lose.
Call 1-800-344-8300.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 12 and 8, only on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the 125 main. Ricky Carmichael way out in front, but look at number 50, Paul Curry. Interesting story behind Mr. Curry. He got into the main event by taking 4th in the LCQ, but that's not the entire story, Marty Reed.
Oh, no, this Moto XXX team had 3 bikes stolen last night at their hotel, and Curry was the only one to make the main event. That is a borrowed practice machine from Pro Circuit Kawasaki. He has put it in. He had the early lead. He's running 5th. He had an 8th place finish last week at Indianapolis. The kid's doing really well considering he's on very unfamiliar equipment. Also, he doesn't even have his own gear. He's got boots that are too big for him and a pair of pants that barely fit.
Incredible. It's Skaggs in second. Jimmy Neese holding down third. Barry Karsten behind him in 4th. James Pavolny, number 83, moves into our top 5.
Danny Smith starting to work his way up, and I know how that feels. Marty, I had to wear my dad's size 13 boots a few times. I injured my feet, and there's a lot of room in that boot. And out here on this running track, having a bigger shoe is definitely going to cause problems. And Curry has got problems right here.
Curry going down. And it looks like he's
badly rutted section there.
Right, he's in a dangerous position, really. They should be able to get him, for safety reasons, to move off the track. No other riders coming along, though. Well, here comes Ricky Carmichael is going to lap him. Curry tries to restart. Smith is now in 5th. Danny Smith, number 125. There's Ricky Carmichael going by. Here's our Suzuki leaderboard. Carmichael, Skaggs, Neese, Karsten, and as we mentioned, Danny Smith in 5th.
This just might be the easiest race of Carmichael's pro career. And it wasn't easy in his heat race, though. Going down, he got a decent start, but he went down, dropped outside the top 10, and his climb back to the lead was just amazing. It was the most exciting race I've seen him ride since I've been watching.
Ricky Carmichael won the race here last year in the 125s.
I don't know
One of his 3 victories last year, David. The Honda stopwatch. Let's check it out and see how horrendous that lead, how big that lead is on 2nd place.
It's not as big as I thought it would be. Only about 9 seconds back to Skaggs. Still hanging on there.
Jimmy Neese, number 42, is starting to push 2nd place Skaggs, number 45.
This whoop section is definitely the toughest one I've seen of the year, not only because of the sticky soil in the ruts, but right out of the corner, they're big. Then he hit that big jump in the middle. I've seen guys trying to get up and over that, and they can't quite do it. Then they get into the small ones before the mechanics area. Very interesting section. Carmichael approaching the triple.
8 laps to go.
Still going for it despite the ruts. The only 125 doing it right now, and he is pulling away not only in the rest of the racetrack, but a lot right there. Coming into the whoop sections. 101. Pretty fast considering he doesn't have anybody pushing him right now.
Absolutely no pressure for number 6, Ricky Carmichael. Well on his way to his 2nd consecutive victory in 2 races this year. It's the stretch run for the 125 Eastern round coming up. We'll finish it off in a minute.
AMA Supercross is being brought to you by Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Quality training for the motorcycle industry.
The tallest mountain in North America is 20,320 feet. Cool.
George Washington stopped the British at Valley Forge, but he never made stops like these. He never watched hockey, and now he's dead. Watch the NHL on ESPN2 before life passes you by.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Marty Reed as we watch Ricky Carmichael, Pro Circuit Kawasaki number 6, just run away with this race. Here's the battle for 2nd with Jimmy Neese still trying to catch up on Skaggs. Robbie Rayner's up to 14th after being last earlier in the race, so he's still trying to hold on to a lot of pride and stay on that racetrack. But that's Skaggs, number 45. What a comeback move it's been for Skaggs. To be in 2nd place here in round 2 after not even making the main last week.
One thing I think that helped him out a little bit, obviously not for last week, that was just a bummer deal for him, but he rode some of the 250 races out west, so that gave him a, it was kind of like Dowd, being able to ride the 125s, and then it's not like riding back here in the east when he got back on the 250. He's already been out on the racetrack, and had some time, been able to mix it up a little. For Carmichael, Indianapolis was the first race of the season.
What you got, Marty?
Well, I'm down here with Paul Curry. And Paul, what happened out there? It looks like you got an injured leg.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a good start, and I tried to ride smooth, but I don't know. I just rode tense, and I got crossed up, and next thing I know, a guy landed on me, and I don't know, I landed and twisted my knee or my leg. I don't know what it is.
Well, we documented what happened to the team and the fact you're on borrowed equipment and everything else. You were doing a great job. It's got to be very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even have our own bikes this morning and none of our gear, but it doesn't matter. I think I could have done good no matter what. I just didn't do my best.
We'll see you next week.
The battle is still on for second place. Nice just won't let Skaggs get away from him, David Bailey, and Danny Smith has moved up a notch in fourth.
Right, and you know, I made a mistake saying Carmichael was the only one jumping the big triple, and Skaggs is jumping that triple every time, and when Nice gets close, they come to the triple. Skaggs jumps it, pulls away a little bit, buys him some time till the next lap when they come there. Also, Danny Smith, who you mentioned moving up, he's also started jumping it. That's where he's making up a lot of his time.
Nice just kind of biding his time back there, and he's running out of time with 5 laps to go. Here's the Suzuki leaderboard. Carmichael, Skaggs, Nice, Smith, and Barry Karsten.
Well, Carmichael was right. He told Marty he was going to make this real boring. He is gone. That's a great battle. I don't think it's over between these two guys. They're going to take it all the way to the last corner.
Jimmy Nice participating in the Arena Cross Series before joining the 125 East. Little bang of the bikes there, but Skaggs holds on. Raynard is up to 12.
You know what Raynard's got to do here, and the good news for him is he's got a pack of riders right in front of him where he can make up some more time and points. He's got to position himself so that if something were to happen to Carmichael, a bad race, he'd be right back in there leading the standings, or at least with a shot at taking it over.
Skaggs, number 45. Nice. It's been this way all the way. We've got 4 laps remaining now as Carmichael already passed the start-finish line right there.
The ruts are getting bad. When they enter this berm right here, that's more of a rut. It's getting down to the cement right there, and you get a lot of wheel spin. As long as you keep the front wheel up and out of it, you stay out of trouble. Approaching the triple again, see if Skaggs goes for it. That's getting bad now. He looks over knowing that Nice is coming and smartly uses the inside berm there.
Not in the picture is Danny Smith, who's behind him, but here comes Jimmy Nice. Well, side by side. Oh, a nice leap over the hay bale, over the tough box. Jimmy Nice pulling one out of the magic bag right there to get in front of Robbie Skaggs.
That was a risk there because from his view, jumping into that corner, he can't see those tough boxes. Oh!
He goes flying. Jimmy Nice running back to the bike to try to salvage it now. As Skaggs has an easy way of it, Danny Smith moves up to 3rd.
Boy, what a bummer for Nice. Just had made the pass. I thought that was it. See, we can take another look at what happens. He's jumping at the very edge of the racetrack. Try to get a good line. Lands right on a tough box. Now that's where those do work well. If that had been a hay bale, that would have been a much worse crash. And luckily he didn't get hit by Skaggs.
Skaggs just barely got by him, David, as we take another look at Ricky Carmichael. 4 laps to go, and less than 4 laps, really, for Ricky Carmichael.
You know, I think he might be bored. He's going to probably do something in the last few laps just to wake himself up a little bit.
Well, they'll bring the crowd alive here. We've got a tremendous crowd here at the Georgia Dome. This could be the best crowd we've ever had here in Atlanta.
That's a tough lead right there, too, that he's just getting over, and he's stretched his lead to 18 seconds now.
Matt Shue, a local rider out of East Ellijay, Georgia. He had the speed last year, he showed us, but he was a crash victim many times. And looks like that's been the problem once again here tonight. Ricky Carmichael, number 6, just simply dominant.
Obviously, just maintaining a decent pace, laps that he can turn consistently all the way to the finish, not make a major mistake, throw this one away, because it seems like it's in the bag.
Skaggs in 2nd place, way behind Ricky Carmichael. Smith is in 3rd, Karsten is 4th, and Lytle now is up to 5th.
Make a good ride for Lytle. He's just persevered here. He didn't get a good start. He was way back, and there you get a shot of him. Just getting out of that corner after the finish into the first turn now. Still with an opportunity to pick up another spot.
Raynard's up to 9th. as we take another look at Casey Lytle. Lytle was very encouraged with his run last week, getting on the podium in third. A good steady run.
Also, Danny Smith, great ride up to the podium position. He was way back in the beginning.
The white flag is out. Ricky Carmichael takes the white flag as we look at the second place rider, Robbie Skaggs. And Robbie, number 45. Danny Smith is picking up a little space. Can he catch him in one more lap for second place? Here's Ricky Carmichael waving to the crowd.
Decided not to take a risk on that triple. I thought he might go for it. In his heat race, he threw the bike. It just looked upside down from my point of view, Art. I mean, this kid, the 250 guys watch him just to see how far he can throw that bike. When he decides he wants to show off, I haven't seen anyone do it better.
Carmichael waving to his mechanic, saying, don't worry. I got things well in hand.
Boy, he is something else. You know, almost to the point of a little bit cocky, but boy, he's earned that right. He acknowledges the fans and gets them into it.
Here comes Danny Smith. Now, he's a West Coast 125 rider, is racing the East season because of Scott Sheik's injury for FMF. The checkers for Carmichael. And look at that. Danny Smith makes the pass to take second place. His best finish ever in 125 Supercross for Danny Smith in second place. Skaggs on the podium. Number 45 is not happy with that pass, obviously, but he does make the podium in third. Oh, we got a lot to talk about, Marty Reed. We'll be going down to Marty when we come back.
Oh, no. Not an offer for another credit card.
We've never gotten one like this.
What is it, made of gold?
Better. This one's a First USA Platinum Visa card.
Uh-huh, at a platinum price. I mean, how much are they talking about? $300, $400 a year just for the privilege?
It's free. No annual fee.
Well, what kind of interest?
Fixed introductory rate is 4.9% APR. Oh, that's the lowest I remember seeing. Maybe we should switch.
To apply for your First USA Platinum Visa card, call this number now. You don't have to be wealthy, just responsible. Having one is a credit to the way you manage your finances, so don't wait. Apply by phone today. Save now and save when the rate goes to a still low fixed 12.99% APR.
Imagine, us with a First USA Platinum Visa card. We deserve it.
They're giving us credit for our good credit.
How about some credit for my good idea?
Although the GSX R750 just won back-to-back AMA Supersport championships, and the GSX R600 had the most AMA 600 Supersport victories, we weren't satisfied. We made over 20 major improvements to the 600 and gave the 750 electronic fuel injection. Now even its shadow can't keep up. The GSX R600 and the GSX R750 from Suzuki.
Ricky Carmichael didn't start out in front, but he didn't waste any time, as you see number 6 on the pro circuit, Kawasaki, get by the two riders in front of him, David Bailey, in smooth style.
Just unbelievable. Skimming the tops of those loops, hits the one big one, jumps a few, picks right up where he left off in Indy with another win. This one able to savor it a little bit during the race.
Here's the official finishing. Ricky Carmichael, of course, winning. Danny Smith, an outstanding ride. The young protege of Bob Hanna. Bob Hanna, of course, very famous for his wins, his 3 wins here in Atlanta. Robbie Skaggs holding on to third. Barry Karsten, good ride for the old veteran, number 43. And Casey Lytle in the top 5 as we look at the results 6 through 10. Let's go down to Marty Reed now with our winner.
He doesn't even have a smile on his face. I mean, you said you were going to make this boring, and I know it wasn't boring for the fans watching you flying, but, man, it was boring for everybody else trying to catch you.
Well, I don't know. You know, a boring race is good for somebody, and, you know, I got a pretty good start, you know, second. That's the best one all year, and, man, I'm glad I could put my Kawasaki up on the winner's circuit, you know, 1-800 Collect, Pro Circuit, Split Fire, Oakley. You know, if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be up here, and I'd just like to thank everybody for coming up and watching me from home, and, you know, to me, I rode good. I'm happy with myself, and, you know, I didn't ride over my head, and I did some different jumps, you know, at the main event that I hadn't done all weekend, and I'm glad that I could do it smooth every lap, and man, I can't believe it, 2 in a row. I've never done that in Supercross, you know, outdoor I did, but glad to do it.
Well, the smile's on his face now. Let me bring Danny Smith in here, guys. Danny, he says he got second on the start. You want to tie an anchor to him?
Yeah, that'd be nice, you know. I was struggling the whole night. I fell in my heat race, and I went to the last chance. But I never gave up, and I pushed it the whole way. Came from, I don't know, a little ways back, but I just never gave up, pushed it all the way, and ended up getting Robbie in the last corner. And I was strong. I've been working really hard, and feels really good.
Your best career finish. You got to be stoked.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I just like to thank all my sponsors, FMF, Honda, DeMarini. They're just a great team. They're working really hard for me, and they never give up on me, and I won't give up till the end.
All right, guys, give me a chance here. I'll catch up with Robbie Skaggs for you.
Okay, Marty. The top 5 Suzuki point standings. Of course, Carmichael in 2 races, perfect. The max, 50 points. But with Lytle's good performance today, he moves into 2nd place in the point standings. Of course, light years behind Carmichael. Let's go back to Marty now.
Yeah, down here with Robbie Skaggs, and you were telling me the reason the pass at the end there, you got arm pump.
Yeah, I got really bad arm pump. The ruts were kind of bothering me a lot out there, and been working a lot with Joe Lichardi. He's my grass trainer and the FMF team trainer, and been working a lot with him, and it's getting better every week. My endurance is there, and I just pumped up.
Guys, if these guys ever figure out how to handle Ricky Carmichael, we're going to have a heck of a 125 final.
Well, now they got pump up with champagne bottles, as here's the guy who's going to celebrate the most tonight, Ricky Carmichael, winning his 2nd consecutive 125 East round. A happy young man here in Atlanta, Georgia's Dome. The highlight of the evening is just around the corner. Can anyone stop Jeremy McGrath from capturing his 4th consecutive win? The 250s are next.
We got a vehicle stranded off the interstate. There'll be a black Honda on milepost 215. Roger that, we're on our way.
Don't trust just anyone for your towing and body repair needs. At the Body Works of Virginia, we carry trucks for any size job. The Body Works of Virginia is Leesburg's premier towing and auto body service provider. The Body Works of Virginia, your towing and collision specialists.
Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about 2 things: buying a quality used car and the Auto Spot in Leesburg. Now, why would you even consider buying a used car that didn't come with a warranty? That's like playing Russian roulette with your safety and your financial future as well. At the Auto Spot, we wouldn't even consider selling a used car that didn't come with a warranty, and you shouldn't buy one from someone who doesn't think like us. The Auto Spot, located directly behind Jerry's Ford in Leesburg, because if you need a car, you need to find the spot.
You know all those stories you hear about how good it was and how much fun we had and how young we all used to be, about how much it all mattered and how much we all cared and how no one has ever done it higher or faster or harder or better. All those stories you hear, they're all true.
61,305 fans here at the Georgia Dome, which is a record here for Atlanta. On this historic occasion, I'm not sure who the fans are going to root for more. Jeremy McGrath has always been a crowd favorite here in his 2 wins previous. Then you got the native son, Ezra Lusk. He looks hot.
Well, he's on fire, just in a class all by himself, pulling away, but McGrath was back there. He watched. I'm sure he looked at the video, and he can respond and come out in the main event and give him some trouble. And it was also Kevin Windham's first heat win of the year, and he hasn't been happy with the way he's ridden so far, and I think he can, tonight might be the night.
As we take a look now at our points leader, Jeremy McGrath. He's leading our Suzuki point standings after our 6 rounds by 45 points. The battle is on for a second with Emig, Windham, Lusk, and LaRocco. We're just about set to start the 250 main from the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta, Georgia. Suzuki starting grid. Kevin Windham, Mike Brown. Mike Brown looking really strong in his heat races. Mikel Pichon coming on nicely in qualifying. Jimmy Button showing his brilliance in the semifinal round, taking the checkered flag there.
Kevin Windham lined up just to the inside of McGrath, and there you get the patented McGrath clap. Clapping his hands, trying to get himself psyched up, rubbing his arms. The same mannerisms we saw him go through all in '96 season when he won just about everything. And Windham, as I'm about to point out, lined up just to the inside of him. So if he gets a good jump and gets to the first corner at the same time, he'll have the inside.
Thanks to our many fans here in Atlanta, Georgia. There's some great Supercross fans here. The 32nd board is up now for Lusk, Windham, McGrath, Brown, Henry, Ward, Pichon, Hughes, Huffman, Button, LaRocco, Emig, Tortelli, Dowd, Terlicki, Albertine, Waugh, Krein, Lampson making it in the LCQ, and Amaratio. Boy, that is a great list of talent as we get set for the 250 main from Atlanta, Georgia.
That shot a moment ago of all the front tires backed off the gate about 2.5 feet. There's a bar back there. They can't back up any farther than that. They'll roll into it.
Board is sideways. Whoa, McGrath getting a little sideways right there with Windham number 8 in good position. On the outside, it's Emig. Windham, Emig in that order with Doug Henry and Jimmy Button in 3rd and 4th, and then Jeremy McGrath and Ezra Lusk.
Beautiful job Windham did to get around the inside of that corner after the triple, protect his line.
I'll tell you, he might have started the evening with an embarrassing moment, but in his heat racing and here the start of the main event, Kevin Windham is it. Number 8, Team Yamaha in the first place position with Jimmy Button, Chaparral Yamaha in 2nd. Here comes Doug Henry tripling. It's going to be close. Henry loves to battle with Button, that's for sure. Emig is now in 4th. Lusk moving ahead of McGrath into 5th place. Oh, we got some good battling going on. Starting our main event from Atlanta. Kevin Windham now getting the challenge from Jimmy Button. Can Jimmy Button win his very first Supercross here in Atlanta? Side by side, Windham gets the power. Kevin Windham has already won 1 Supercross race. That was last year in Charlotte. Trying to hold off Jimmy Button. Oh, it's close. They're rubbing number plates.
Boy, unbelievable how aggressive Button is, and that's what causes him to... It looked like he may have had that pass made. Just sheer aggression right there, Art.
Jimmy Button into first place.
Going around that first corner on the outside, feet on the pegs over that jump, approaching the triple.
Jimmy Button, of course, leading some laps in the 2nd race of the year in Houston before giving way to his teammate Jeremy McGrath. Was in 2nd place until about 150 yards from the finish line when he slipped off the track and ended up in 6th.
This has the makings of a great race. Now you got Lusk and McGrath together right behind Henry. All I hear is how tough it is to get around Henry.
4 Yamahas in the top 5. That's 6th place coming at the Kingdome in Seattle for Jimmy Button. He also got a 6th in Houston. And he got a 2nd place then in San Diego and a 3rd last week in Indianapolis.
Well, that was close. Lusk coming from the outside. McGrath doubling across the inside. Just about caught his back tire. That could have been a high side. Just inches away from going down right there. And wouldn't have been anybody's fault. Just those guys' lines came together there.
Jimmy Button said, I feel this year I can win my first Supercross. He's out in front by 8 bike lengths over Kevin Windham, and then it's Doug Henry, Lusk, McGrath, and Hughes. That's our order.
Well, with the way things look right now, it's possible for the Chaparral guys to end up on the podium again, but this time it may be reversed.
Here comes Lusk, the Team Honda rider. Boy, with McGrath right behind him, both of them passing Doug Henry.
One mistake by Henry, and there goes Lusk and McGrath. And I think they're going to leave him, too. These guys are in a battle of their own. little bit faster pace than Doug in the heat race, and I think in the main here, now that when all the chips are down, it's going to continue to be a faster pace than Doug's capable of here.
Emig's all the way back in 16th place for Jeff Emig here with the Suzuki leaderboard. Button, Wyndham, Lusk, McGrath, and Henry. Button with a sizable lead on Wyndham here with 17 laps to go in our 20-lap main event. Lusk trying desperately to catch up with Wyndham.
Good start for Hughes again. Has an opportunity here over that quadruple jump. Now this section right here, Button has a different line than Lusk. Where Ryan Hughes just jumped, Lusk is jumping that entire thing. McGrath is going to learn that, and if he can pass for the lead, I have a feeling Lusk is going to challenge for it here pretty soon, because his pace certainly will get him up there, and that is one opportunity he'll have to pass. Everywhere else, everyone's going about the same speed.
About a 4.5-second lead for Jimmy Button over Kevin Wyndham. Lusk starting to pull up a little bit more on second-place rider as we see Henry. Henry's in back of McGrath, who's in back of Lusk.
Well, he hasn't let him go. He's still charging hard. I know he's never going to give up. I just thought that the pace that Lusk and McGrath had to catch him and make that pass that quick, that they would be gone, but Henry's hanging tough.
Lusk starting to pull up now towards second place. Kevin Wyndham. There's Wyndham in your screen. Lusk number 3 right behind him. This could prove to be a big battle right now. McGrath is behind him. Wyndham trying desperately to hold on to second place as they cross the finish line jump.
He needed a start, but Wyndham that is, but just not quite enough. Button all over him in the beginning. Here comes Lusk now.
Ezra Lusk number 3.
Lusk, he's got to get around Wyndham right now. I think he knows he's capable of doing it. Thinks he's a little faster here and there. He certainly was in his heat race. Here's his chance to the whoops.
Ezra Lusk, Kevin Wyndham, Ezra Lusk, oh, dismounts the bike. Out of control, and Kevin Wyndham retains the lead. Ezra Lusk not too far behind, though. He's behind Ryan Hughes.
This is unbelievable. We're going to get another look approaching the end of that whoop section. I kept talking about how the timing of it was so tough. Now there he's going for that big jump. He'll make up time, but this is, he just got off balance, caught his foot in the ground. It threw him off the high side. Looked like a trick horse rider riding beside the bike, but on the wrong side through that corner.
Boy, after hard luck in the last 2 races, he didn't make his own mistakes. Here tonight, it was his own mistake. Jimmy Button, our leader.
Now he can see that his teammate McGrath had just made the pass.
Kevin Wyndham goes down. Oh, the rider's on edge.
Kevin taking a moment just to try to get that clutch lever back up there where he can use it. That's going to be so important for the rest of the race.
Button, McGrath, Henry, and Hughes, our top 4. Taking another look now at Kevin Wyndham.
McGrath making the pass just before the triple, coming into the corner. Watch Kevin, he didn't get on the brakes early enough, grabs the front brake. Kind of like what happened to him in the opening ceremonies. Too much front brake, and he went down.
So Jimmy Button is our leader. Can his teammate Jeremy McGrath catch him in 13 more laps? Well, he's got enough time. We'll find out when we come back.
AMA Supercross is brought to you by Dunlop, simply the best for your bike.
Hey, listen up. Honda dealers are offering 5% financing and no down payment on all new Valkyries.
Beauty, adventure, drama. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this free art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number. Don't delay, Call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-344-8300.
How do you prove you're the king of college hoops? Just log on to ESPN.com and enter the tournament challenge presented by Pizza Hut on ESPN Sports Zone. To enter, fill out your brackets, compete against thousands of other fans, make the right picks, and be crowned king of college hoops. Log on to ESPN Sports Zone, and you can win a trip or two to the 1999 Men's Championship, hotel accommodations, and 64 pizzas from Pizza Hut. The tournament challenge on ESPN Sports Zone. Enter starting March 8th.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Ezra Lusk trying to fight back into it. That's Ryan Hughes, number 10 on the right. Emig is up to 15th right now. Bad night for points for Emig as Button is our leader. Jeremy McGrath in second. Henry in third. Hughes fourth. Lusk all the way back to fifth.
And Lusk on the edge, up into that corner. Hot. Reeled his front wheel up into those tough boxes. I don't know how he didn't go down again. Just sheer will kept him on the bike that time because the front wheel, it was off the track on the bales.
Button with a 4.3 lead on Jeremy McGrath.
What a battle for third. Ryan Hughes still hanging tough. Doug not giving up. Got a little bit of a breath there. An opportunity to stay in a podium position with Lusk going down, but Lusk has recovered. It takes a lot of energy out of you when you go down like that. But he's in great shape. Says he can ride on any track, any conditions, 25 laps all out. We'll find out tonight.
That's for sure. Ryan Hughes, number 10, Team Kawasaki. And Ezra Lusk. Ezra having trouble getting around him very quickly.
Like I said, you get back up and all that adrenaline's pumping and you get right back into your rhythm and you can see the leaders are right there. You're still not out of it, but all of a sudden that catches up with you. Having to pick that bike back up and the way he went down. Trying to get a tearaway. He pulled the tearaway. It looked like it got hung up on his thumb. Messing with his concentration, obviously, for that last half a lap. He got rid of it to see if he can close now.
Button's lead has been shaved to 2.5 by Jeremy McGrath as we take a look at our Suzuki leaderboard. Button, McGrath, Henry, Hughes, and Lusk. Lusk just simply trying to get back into the top three after going down.
Now he's got some tricks up his sleeve. And his fitness and his confidence level, I don't know about his luck level, but it certainly will carry him up into past these guys if he plays his cards right. Ryan Hughes getting a hard landing off that triple. Because of the soft soil, even if you land right, still a hard landing.
You know, it's going to be interesting when we get back in the leaders. Here's Ryan Hughes. And Henry battling it out for third. Right now, Henry moves into third with Ryan Hughes coming right back. Oh, Rhino.
Boy, that was an aggressive and beautiful move. It wasn't much room right there, and Ryan just nailed it. And that causes Henry to couldn't get over that quadruple right there, and Lusk was able to do it, and he moves by as well.
We're down to the halfway mark, Marty Reed.
Yeah, and I'm down here with Ron Wood. And Ron, this is the best run Ryan's had, especially after last week's effort.
Yeah, he's been in some pretty good positions the last few weeks, but he's crashed and made little mistakes. He's riding really good right now.
What's been the difference? What'd you do?
Well, it's all the mental with him. He's got the speed and the talent, just getting his head straight.
David, how many times have we heard? Mental, always mental.
At this level, that's all it is. And McGrath now starting to mess with the head of Jimmy Button.
It's going to be interesting. I was trying to get to it earlier about Jimmy Button. How will he react now to his teammate Jeremy McGrath coming up behind him?
Yeah, this will feel just like it is during the week when they're out there riding together. I'm sure they've been in this position before. Now it makes a little bit more important, but I'm sure Jimmy knows what to do.
Jeremy McGrath cutting in front of Button, but Button coming back with the lead.
He's not going to give it to him. He's going to make him earn it. Right here going wide is kind of giving it to him, but Jeremy came up short there. So watch Jimmy's line here. He's going to go wide.
Jeremy McGrath to the inside. Button leaping all the way. Does he have enough momentum to come back on Jeremy McGrath as they go over the triple? Two Chaparral Yamahas out in front once again. Battling it out for first place. McGrath is just not shaking Jimmy Button, even though McGrath now secures the position. They're coming up on Steve Lampson to lap him.
Well, it surprises me a little bit that Button went wide like that, but maybe he just kind of felt like, you know, I don't think I can hold this guy off. Nobody else can beat him. How the heck am I supposed to?
Here's Hughes in third place in front of Lusk. Boy, Lusk is really jumping all over the place.
He wants this so bad. He still feels like he can catch those guys.
Ezra Lusk now in third behind the two Chaparrals. But a long way to go to catch him.
Oh, Lusk coming up short again there on the triple, then on that quadruple, just on the edge. This kid gives it everything he's got, and boy, he has just almost gone down several times now.
Marty, Steve Lampson is with you.
Yes, Steve pulled out of the race at the shoulder.
Yeah, actually, I went down again out there in the main event and kind of stretched it back, and it already was pretty sore for the first crash today, so I just can't ride good out there right now, so I'm going to just heal it up and shoot for next weekend.
We'll see you next week in Tampa.
Yeah, thanks.
Boy, more bad luck for Steve Lampson this season as we take a look at Ezra Lusk and Ryan Hughes. Lusk securing third in front of Hughes. And Wyndham is moving up on Hughes. Wyndham going down. Both Lusk and Wyndham going down when they were in contending positions and now have moved back into good placements.
That says a lot for their ability to respond. You go down like that, it's hard to get back in your rhythm. And they have definitely got back in their rhythm, and you've got to be in good shape to do that. Once you go down, it takes a lot of wind out of your sails, and you'll see guys just settle for whatever position they end up in.
Jeremy McGrath has already pulled out to a 4-second lead on his teammate Jimmy Button. And Button has a huge lead then over Ezra Lusk. I mean, light years back. Lusk in third, skids. Here's Jeremy McGrath, our leader.
McGrath using a different timing all the way down that straightaway. I think that is so clever. As we look at the Honda stopwatch, he's jumping opposite jump of everybody else, which means he doesn't have to hit the face of any of those jumps that have ruts in them.
Jeremy McGrath has never been out of the top 4 here in Atlanta. In 93, he was in 4th. He won in 94. He was 4th in 95, won in 96, 3rd in 97. Will he win every other year? He's on the route to do it right now as we take a look at the intervals of the riders.
So you can see that it's about 20 seconds back to third place Ezra Lusk, and Ryan Hughes has got to be maybe chuckling to himself watching Lusk get all out of shape, barely hanging on, and go, hey, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's kind of changed where Hughes is always the guy that's kind of on the edge. Now he's watching Lusk do it.
Chaparral giving a huge contract to Jeremy McGrath as that time ticks away to check out this lap time.
It's got to be under a minute, Art.
And it's paying off, that's for sure. Take a look at, yes, you're absolutely right. Whoa, Jeremy doing a little fishtail there.
You can just count on making some mistakes out here as long as they don't cost you a lot of time. The track, the conditions are tough. And when the conditions are tougher, it takes more energy out of you. So when you get tired and the sweat gets built up in your goggle, it's harder to concentrate and make good decisions out there.
Here's the battle for 4th now. Wyndham, number 8, trying to make the move on Ryan Hughes. Hughes this year, his best finish was a 5th in Houston.
In Houston, too, he had a good run going, a lot better than that, but at that point, he was nursing a sore back and a foot. He didn't have much training under his belt, and he faded. Here, he's got more training. He should be able to hang on.
Our Suzuki leaderboard, McGrath, Button, way out in front of Ezra Lusk, Hughes, and Wyndham. And now Lusk is pulling away from Ryan Hughes to give him some cushion, but Wyndham now is still hounding Ryan Hughes. Larry Ward is making a move behind them. Emig is in 14th.
Now you can see the face of that triple jump. Those guys get close. It just looks like a comb. There's ruts all the way across. It takes incredible balance to hit that right rut, and as soon as you land, you're in another one.
5 laps to go. Wyndham to the inside on Ryan Hughes, but oh, look out for the downed riders, Ezra Lusk.
Well, Lusk has been hanging it out through that whoop section, going down at the end of it in this corner right here.
That puts Hughes in 3rd.
And here comes LaRocco. This guy can come from behind like nobody.
So it's Ryan Hughes, Kevin Wyndham in 3rd and 4th with Larry Ward, Lusk, and LaRocco.
Now this battle for 3rd, is it going to be a freight train here in a couple of laps? Wyndham cutting out, swinging a little bit wide just to take that line away from Hughes. He was back there for a while before he made that pass. I think he feels like once he's made it, he should be able to hang on. Starting to pull away a little bit already.
Boy, your conditioning really comes into play right now. When you've been down, you've battled back, as you said, David. takes so much energy to get back into the game, let alone hold on to an advantage like he's got with Ryan Hughes right now.
And also the pace in the first 3 laps was just amazing. It was so fast. That takes a lot out of you right there. And then, you know, you see the mechanics a lot of times breathe on the pit board. Sometimes you're holding your breath just about for that first few laps. That takes its toll as well.
Ezra Lusk, Larry Ward. Ward number 4, Team Suzuki. Ward coming off an excellent second-place performance in Indianapolis. Ezra Lusk, once again, is just unrelentless.
Now, you got to give him the hard charger award. Going down twice, should have been down about 6 times, but just the determination he has to put that Honda up front. We can see that he appreciates their effort. They went, we're in a drought. They want to win, and he wants to give it to them. Gave him a couple, and then I don't know. I saw him in the airport after Indy. I said, did you run over some puppies a while back? Or geez, it couldn't be more unlucky. And you can see that he was very disappointed and realized that the title was pretty much out of reach, but he's given it everything he's got anyway.
Mack, Button, Wyndham, Ward, and Hughes and his board get tough. That's to Larry Ward. Lee McCollum. Lusk once again sliding on the slick red clay of Georgia.
LaRocco over that quadruple, making the pass on Lusk.
Mike LaRocco. His factory connection Honda. Well, things are pretty spread apart now as our leader Jeremy McGrath looking to become one of the 4 riders to ever win Supercross title, lose it, and win it back again. You might remember Ward, Jeff Ward, Ricky Johnson, and Jeff Stanton, the 3 other riders to be able to do that. Well, he's off to a great start. And could he pad that lead with his 4th consecutive victory of this season, his 49th career win? White flag is coming up on the next turn around.
Whoa, Ryan Hughes hanging it out through the whoop section. I was about to say before, I think Hughes isn't off the hook yet with LaRocco coming from behind and makes the pass.
White flag is out. Jeremy McGrath on his final lap.
That's got to make Jeremy feel good, too. Not only to have his teammate finishing in second, but by doing so, it pushes everybody back a couple more points.
The flashbulbs popping as Jeremy goes over the triple. You see the finish line with the white flag out. Lusk and Hughes still battling it out.
Coming together there at the end. I thought Hughes might get a better drive out of that corner, but Lusk just faded out into the line to make sure he made that pass stick. Just can't believe how much Lusk has been through. It's been an incredible journey. Another hard landing off that triple. The soil here is just kills you when you land.
Only 3 more turns. Now 2 more turns for Jeremy McGrath. Incredible, his record. Over the years, McGrath taking his time. Jeremy McGrath, the checkers. His 4th in a row in the season. His teammate now, Jimmy Button, coming across the finish line in 2nd place. It's the 2nd time this year they have finished 1 and 2.
And with Wyndham coming in 3rd.
In 3rd, Ward taking a 4th place here tonight in the Georgia Dome. A very disappointed Ezra Lusk. Jeremy McGrath, another win. Marty Reed will be talking with him when we return.
On your left are the Suzuki motorcycles you want. On your right are the accessories you want. Left, bikes. Right, accessories. Bikes, accessories. Straight in front of you is the great deal you've been looking for. Now during Suzuki Fest 98, get $500 worth of accessories free. And choose from great deals like 0 down or low APR financing on selected models. So march right in. Left, right.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and this is Craftsman innovation at its best. Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are the world's first self-adjusting one-handed pliers. With just a simple squeeze of the spring-loaded handle, the jaws automatically adjust. The Craftsman RoboGrip works on faucets and hoses, or for auto repairs. It has hundreds of household uses. And because Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are from Sears, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. Call the number on your screen right now to order your Craftsman RoboGrip.
Hello, I'm Netboy live from ESPN Sports Zone via XPG 46 Digital CompuCam. Just wanted to let you know that the Sports Zone Fantasy Baseball League is happening here now. That's ESPN.com, so don't miss it. Eisen's picks, Vizquella's short.
AMA Supercross has been brought to you by Honda Motorcycles, celebrating 50 years with great deals during Honda Dream Days. And by Suzuki Motorcycles and ATVs. Now during Suzuki Fest 98, get $500 worth of accessories for free and choose from great deals like zero down or low APR financing on selected models.
So back in the Georgia Dome, the record crowd of more than 60,000 fans checking out the final results. Jeremy McGrath, Jimmy Button 1 and 2. Kevin Windham making the podium with Larry Ward in 4th and Mike LaRocco a hard-earned 5th for LaRocco. So let's go down to Marty Reed.
Yeah, Jeremy taking a cold drink, and you said you earned this one, and you certainly did.
Yeah, it was kind of a come from behind there. I didn't get such a good start as the last 3 weeks, and track was real technical out there. There was a lot of lines and a lot of mistakes being made, and Ezra and I had a little battle going there for a few minutes, and the track took its toll and knocked him off. So then I just had to work my way real slow all the way up to the front. I just was real cautious and ride really smooth.
Well, we got the answer about team orders because Button gave you all you could handle there for a while.
Yeah, there's no team orders. If Jimmy's going to win, he's going to win. And if I'm going to win, I'm going to win. You know, our Chaparral Yamahas are working good, you know, with 800 Collect and Mazda, Bridgestone tires, and you know, every sponsor we have is just flowing, and I'm really happy for Button as well.
4 in a row, guys. Take a look at what's upstairs. I'll get Jimmy, and we'll get the Chaparral sweep for the 2nd time this year.
And Marty, meanwhile, we'll look at the Suzuki point standings after our rounds. As Jeremy McGrath, 164 points on his 4th consecutive victory, just starting to pull away with it. But the big news, David Bailey, is that Windham is moving into 2nd place.
And a great ride. I don't feel like that in the main events he's ridden up to his potential, and even here I think he got a little nervous getting out to the lead like that and didn't expect the pace to be quite that fast, but he was smart and hung on to a podium.
Let's find out what Jimmy Button was thinking about, Marty.
Well, thinking was the key word that you said there, because we talked about in the semi, you thought your way through the race. Great run, 2nd time for 2nd place and a 1-2 sweep again.
Yeah, great. You know, everyone's happy with Chaparral. Man, couldn't be better, 1-2. But I threw that one away. I should have won that race, but I'll take 2nd. It's all right.
Well, he said that you gave him all you could handle.
Yeah, you know, I had a really good pace going, and we were staying pretty much the same, and then I looked behind me and I saw it was him. I started thinking too much about, you know, who was behind me. Made a little mistake doing that, but every week, you know, little improvements in my riding, so I'm real happy. Just happy for everybody. You know, Chaparral, Yamaha, 1-800 Collect, Bridgestone tires, Spy, No Fear, Bell Helmets, everyone, they've been pushing it 100%, and, you know, without them, I couldn't be up here every weekend.
You keep this up, you're going to make that top podium. Congratulations, good run.
Thanks again.
So Jimmy Button, as we see on the replay right here, doing a great job right behind the winningest all-time rider, Jeremy McGrath, receiving the trophy for his 64 career motocross supercross wins. Make it number 65 here tonight, right, Marty?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go and talk to Kevin Windham after the beginning, which we've already talked about. We won't talk about the pre-race ceremony, but you come back, you win a heat, another 3rd place finish, and the points, I mean, you're catching up. You got to get this Button guy to keep from getting between you and Jeremy.
Yeah, you know, Jeremy's riding great, and I'm just so pumped that I'm able to be consistent, and you know, that's what's doing it this year is just being consistent, and you know, Yogs has some really good races and some really bad ones, so you know, just the thing about it is just to go out there and be consistent, and you know, it feels great to have all 3 Yamahas up here twice out of the 7 races so far, and you know, everything's just been going great, and we couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, you mentioned it, guys. This is the 2nd Yamaha sweep. I think it's also the 2nd Bridgestone sweep as well.
So Yamaha, after 2 sweeps on the season here, a victorious night in Atlanta, Georgia. Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Marty Reed, thanking you for being with us and hoping you can join us for our next round.